Have you ever wished the wind could carry your dreams? In a quiet, peaceful village nestled between soft green hills and winding silver rivers, lived a gentle boy named Nilo. Nilo was a thoughtful, curious little soul who wore soft yellow nightwear every evening. It made him look like a tiny sunbeam, even after sunset, every night. As the sky turned a gentle purple and the stars blinked awake, Nilo would climb up to the roof of his cozy little home. There he'd sit cross-legged close, his eyes and speak softly to the breeze. And though the wind never answered out loud, Nilo always felt like it was listening. One evening, as the moon rose lazily and the world quieted down, Nilo felt something different. The breeze didn't just listen, it whispered back. Its voice was as soft as a sigh and as tickly as a feather. "The garden awaits beyond the clouds," it said. Nilo's eyes opened wide. He held his breath. A garden. In the sky, the wind swirled around him, gentle and full of something ancient, like lullabies and forgotten dreams. Nilo sat very still, heart fluttering like a moth's wings, and whispered back, "I'm ready." Just then, from the deep violet sky, something drifted down. It twirled and danced in the air like it had a song of its own. A glowing white feather landed gently in Nilo's small hand. It pulsed softly like a heartbeat and sparkled with tiny specks of moonlight. It wasn't from any bird Nilo knew. It was Magical Dot. The feather pointed upward, not in a straight line, but with a dreamy little curve, like it knew the way to somewhere special. Nil. O smiled. He understood. That night, the moonlight seemed brighter, not harsh or blinding, but warm and welcoming. As Nilo stood on his rooftop, the silvery beams began to twist and stretch, forming something marvelous. A glowing ladder made of moonlight and mist slowly rose into the sky. It shimmered like a dream. Without fear, Nilo took the feather in one hand and placed his foot on the first glowing step. The ladder was soft under his feet, but strong enough to carry him. He climbed slowly, gently, into the clouds above. As Nilo reached the top of the ladder, the world changed. He stepped onto soft, puffy clouds that felt like warm pillows. But they weren't empty. Floating above them were little islands, magical ones. Each had glowing trees with glassy leaves, flowers that shimmered like stars, and gentle rivers that sparkled and drifted through the air. Nilo's eyes sparkled with wonder. The air smelled of warm milk and starlight. He had reached the place the wind had promised, the garden beyond the clouds. From behind a swirling bush of silver leaves, a creature stepped out. It was a cloud fox, with fur as soft and misty as morning fog and eyes that twinkled like two tiny galaxies. It moved with grace, each step leaving trails of sparkles in the air. The fox tilted its head and said in a calm, velvety voice, "Welcome, dream listener." Nilo blinked, surprised. "Is that me?" The fox nodded. "Yes, the one who listens to the wind is always welcome in the garden." The garden was full of gentle surprises. As Nilo walked beside the cloud fox, he noticed the flowers around him were humming, not like bees, but like lullabies. Each flower's petal gave off a soft musical note, and together they created the gentlest song Nilo had ever heard. He began to hum along, and as he did, butterflies made of light floated around him, swirling and dancing in time with the melody. It felt like the whole garden was singing just for him. But not everything was singing. Tucked beneath a glowing tree was a little cloud, small, gray, and trembling. It had big round eyes and a tiny pout. like it had lost something important. Nilo knelt beside it and gently asked, "Why aren't you singing with the others?" The cloud gave a long, slow sigh. "I forgot how." Nilo placed a hand on the cloud's side and smiled gently. "That's okay. We can find your song together." "Have you ever helped someone find their voice?" Again? Nilo closed his eyes and let his heart fill with all the songs he'd heard that night. He thought about the breeze, the music flowers, the quiet of home, and the soft moon above. Then, ever so gently, he placed his hand on the little cloud. Warm light pulsed from his palm, flowing into the cloud like melted gold. The cloud quivered, then glowed softly. A tiny hum, faint like a whisper, began to escape from its center. Suddenly, a drizzle of sparkling raindrops began to fall, but it wasn't a sad rain. Each drop shimmered like crystal and held tiny glowing pictures inside. One showed the little cloud laughing with butterflies. Another showed it napping under. A tree made of stars thought the rain wasn't water. It was memory as the cloud watched its forgotten joys fall around it. Its soft eyes lit up with recognition. To help the cloud remember more, Nilo spotted something nearby, a floating piano, made of crystal and cloud threads. He sat down gently, his fingers brushing the glowing keys as he played. Each note floated into the air, blooming into little dream flowers. The music danced like lullabies, weaving through the garden like a soft blanket. The little cloud watched in awe, swaying gently in rhythm. The cloud began to hum again, a little louder this time. Its glow returned, this time a soft lavender, and its eyes sparkled with happiness. Then, just like that, the cloud burst into song, a slow, dreamy tune that wrapped around the garden. Like a hug, other clouds began to drift closer, dancing in slow circles, spinning and twirling in the air like sleepy snowflakes. Suddenly, music filled the sky. Glowing clouds formed a gentle carousel, spinning in the air with soft animal shapes, a lion made of mist, a bird with rainbow wings, a floating fish with stars in its scales. "Would you like to ride?" "The Cloud Fox asked Nilo nodded with wide eyes and climbed onto a fluffy cloud shaped like a winged horse. The carousel turned slowly, gently, as the stars above blinked in time. As the carousel slowed, the Cloud Fox approached once more. "You've helped our little one find its song," he said. "You've earned a piece of tonight." He placed a small, glowing marble in Nilo's palm. It was warm, and inside it swirled, with all the colors of the garden: lilac, silver, blue, and gold. "This marble holds your dream. Keep it close to your heart," the fox whispered. High above, the great round moon, with her gentle grandmotherly face, let out a long, soft yawn. The stars around her wiggled and dimmed just a little, like they too were ready for sleep. "It's nearly time," the moon murmured in a voice as soft as velvet, "but one more surprise awaits." Nilo looked up, cuddling the glowing marble in his hands as the moon winked down gently. He couldn't wait to see what came next. At the heart of the cloud garden stood a glowing doorway. It wasn't like any door Nilo had seen before. It was made of stardust vines, feathers that floated in place, and soft silver mist that curled like sleepy sighs. The frame shimmered with colors that changed with every blink: sky blue, lavender, rose gold. Nilo stepped closer, heart beating softly in his chest. "Where does it go?" he whispered. The Cloud Fox, his eyes sparkling, replied gently, "It leads to the Dreammaker." "And your deepest wish?" If you could open a door made of dreams, where would it take you? Nilo stepped through the misty doorway into a room that floated in the sky like a drifting island. The walls were made of clouds, and the floor glowed like a pond of moonlight. In the center stood the Dreammaker, a gentle being in a long robe, made of drifting stars and soft light. Its hands shimmered, moving gently through the air as it shaped glowing thoughts into dream sculptures. "Welcome, dream listener," the Dreammaker said. "What dream will you shape tonight?" Nilo felt a warmth rise in his chest. He knew exactly what to make. With soft hands and a peaceful smile, Nilo shaped a tiny glowing village, his home. He molded his little house, the round hills, the gentle river that sang at night. He even added a little version of himself sitting on the roof, talking to. The breeze thought as he worked. The miniature dream village began to glow and hum with peace. The Dreammaker nodded with joy. "You carry a quiet heart, little one. Your dream is made of comfort." And Nilo felt warm, like he had just been wrapped in the coziest blanket in the sky. The Dreammaker stepped forward, placing a gentle star-shaped mark on Nilo's palm. "You may return to the garden whenever the breeze calls your name." They said dot all around. Glowing dream balloons lifted into the sky, dreams of animals, of laughter, of dancing clouds, and bedtime songs dot as Nilo turned back toward the glowing door. He looked once more at the Dreammaker and smiled. "I'll visit again," he said softly. The Dreammaker replied, "And the garden will always be waiting." Outside, a soft, giant feather drifted down from above. Gently spinning Nilo stepped onto it, and it held him like a hammock. Slowly, like a snowflake in no rush to fall, the feather began to lower him back toward the earth. Clouds parted softly. Around him, stars winked goodbye, and the sky dimmed with sleepy blue light. Nilo yawned, not because he was bored, but because peace had wrapped itself around him like a song. When Nilo opened his eyes again, he was back on the rooftop of his house. The wind whispered gently across his cheeks, the same way it always had, only now it felt like an old friend. He looked up. The feather had vanished into the clouds, and all around him, the stars were blinking slowly, like they were ready to sleep too. Nilo curled up on the warm tiles and placed his glowing marble beside him. He didn't need to say a word. The sky already knew. As Nilo closed his eyes, the small marble in his hand pulsed softly, like it was breathing. Inside, tiny clouds floated across tiny stars. In the very center, faint glowing words appeared, written in curling letters. "Thank you, dream listener." Nilo held the marble to his chest and whispered back, "Good night." And the breeze wrapped around him once more, like a blanket spun from clouds. The next morning, something had changed in the village as Nilo walked through the sunny streets. The breeze gently followed, curling around flowers and fluttering through people's hair. Everyone seemed just a little happier. A baby giggled at the wind tickling their cheeks. A sleepy dog stretched and sighed with peace. A neighbor paused, eyes closed, as if listening to a song only they could hear. The breeze had brought the garden's peace down with Nilo, and the village felt it. That night, just before bed, Nilo took one of the glowing petals from the cloud garden, the one the sad cloud had given him, and gently planted it in a small pot by his bedroom window. As he tucked himself into bed, the petals shimmered and slowly closed like a pair of sleepy eyes. It was time for it to rest. And in the quiet, Nilo could still hear the soft song of the sky, High above the house, the once sad cloud floated proudly. It had grown a little rounder, a little fluffier, and a lot brighter. It drifted quietly across the sky, leaving behind sparkles that faded into the star's dot as it passed above Nilo's window. It gave a tiny wink, just for him, and then it floated gently on, humming its new song into the night. Up in the stars, almost hidden from sight, a faint shimmer glowed. The ladder of light, the one Nilo had climbed, was still there. Not as bright, not as obvious, but always ready. Just in case. It whispered silently through the sky, whenever. "You're ready, little one. The garden waits." And even though Nilo was already asleep, something in his heart heard it. The hills curled under the weight of the night like children under blankets. The river whispered a lullaby, and the rooftops glowed faintly with the dreams of those who slept inside. The wind hummed a song only the stars knew, and the stars blinked, slowly one by one, until only the soft glow of the moon remained. Night had wrapped its arms around the world. And the world, at last, had closed its eyes. Inside Nilo's cozy bedroom, the breeze slipped through the slightly cracked window. It swirled gently around his bed, curling like a cat, then nestled beside him. His blanket rose just a little, like someone was tucking it in. Nilo stirred slightly and smiled in his sleep. The wind smiled too, if breezes can smile. From the pot on his windowsill, the petal began to glow again. Slowly, little dream blossoms unfurled from it, tiny glowing flowers shaped like stars, clouds, and music notes. One by one, they floated gently up into the sky. They twirled and sparkled, drifting higher and higher until they disappeared into the blanket of stars. They weren't just dreams anymore. They were gifts for the night. Far above the village, a new cloud floated gently by, shaped like a heart and glowing with the softest light. As it passed over the rooftops, a message sparkled in the stars. "Good night, dream listener." And if you listen closely, when you close your eyes tonight, you just might hear a cloud hum your name. Don't forget to like this story and subscribe for more magical dreams. With a beautiful smile,